Okay, guys, appreciate you coming out. We're getting near the end of our developmental practices, which, I always love this time of year. It's a chance for the guys who played a lot of football to heal up, to do fundamental work, to continue to work in strength and conditioning, and prepare for when we get into game prep, which will start on Monday next. So we have, what's today, Thursday? We have one more developmental practice on Saturday, which I love it because you see these young guys when they get all your attention. It's not all young guys. Some guys are more experienced but just need the reps because they haven't had enough, and they get all your attention. Then they get all the film work because it's all them. It's easy to say, whoever's on the tape, you're learning, and you are. But when it's you, it's a different type of learning. It's personalized. So this has been a really good period for us. Our guys are reading day today, and then we start finals tomorrow. So we're late relative to a lot of schools. We haven't even started finals yet. Our guys' finals will go all the way up to the 22nd. So we'll have to juggle that, which I think our guys have done a good job laying the foundation. So, but it's an important time academically, so there's not a lot of time for anything else other than their schoolwork and the limited amount we ask them to do in the bowl prep. So it's a great time. Again, I thanked yesterday in a statement, but I really want to thank the entire Rutgers community for the continued support of our program, believing in where we're headed and what we're doing. Those of us who grew up in New Jersey, especially if you grew up in North Jersey, you get on that parkway to go down to the shore, right? And when you come up to that Driscoll Bridge, it changes. You see the water, all right? We're getting there, and that's kind of where I feel we are right now. We're getting up that bridge, and we still got a long way to go before we get to the beach, but we're making progress, and that's the key. As long as we continue to make progress, it'll be faster at some times than others, but we'll get there. So again, it means so much to me, to our family, my family, and to our entire staff and organization that the Rutgers community is behind us, and that we can continue to move forward the way that we are. So I'll open it up for questions.
Greg, your coordinators get extended yesterday too. Can you talk about the importance of bringing them back and what they've meant to the program here?
Yeah, we have, in my opinion, the best coordinators in the country. I have total faith in them. They do an unbelievable job. It allows me to do my job. None of us are always right. What I know is these guys work more focused and work harder than anybody I've ever worked with, both of them. So it really is a pleasure to work with them, and they lead their staffs in a way that, that excites me.
Greg, this is an incredibly turbulent time in college football. To know that there seems to be a lot of stability here, not just with you, but with the coordinators, and also, if you read the news, with the players deciding to stay. Is that stability a selling point for this program now in your mind?
It is, but in life, you're one day away from the stability being gone, right? Somebody decides they're going to leave, and I think what we're into is, in this day and age, it used to be staff. You lost your staff because someone would come recruit them and take them away. And if you didn't have the resources to maintain, keep them there, it's hard. But now it's the players as well. And that's changed. That's the biggest change. For a young man to, back in the day, transfer, he had to give up a year of playing. He had to have a year in residency before he could play again. With the transfer portal and the advent of NIL, it is a turbulent time. You hit that on the head with that word. But again, that's what we're in. So if you don't like it, there's two things you can do. You can change it, which I can't individually change college football, or you can change the way you think about it. And that's what I've chosen to do, is change the way you think about it, figure out answers. I always tell the players, what people look to hire is problem solvers. So that's what we try to create here. We try to develop their ability to solve problems. We talk about equip and inspire. That's what we want to do. We want to equip and inspire our players. The equipment we give them is the ability to figure things out, to problem solve, and not only on the football field, but in life. So that's what I have to do. We have to figure out a way to take what we are, and I think we're different, and capitalize on that, even though we may not have some of the things that other people have. That's the way life is. You got to figure out who you are and then how to leverage that.
It's just as a follow-up, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like in Greg Schiano 1.0, staff retention was a major problem or concern, a constant thing you had to deal with. It seems like that has been something that's been the opposite this time around. I mean, is that true, and how much easier does that make your job if you don't have to deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's factually correct. We didn't have the commitment or the resources to do it. Nobody's fault. It just wasn't there. Right now, to be able to hold on to Joe Harasimiak and Kirk Shiraka is hugely important to this program. And like I said, I'm indebted to the Rutgers community, to our president, to our board, to our athletic director, everybody who stepped up to make this happen. And it is a year-to-year deal, right? I mean, every year you're going to come under attack. That's the competitive nature of college football these days, and it's only going to get more competitive. It's not going to get less. And that's why you got to work really, really hard. And when you have an opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. And that's what we're trying to do, in this bowl game.
Coach, if you're on the Driscoll Bridge, what's the shore? What's the beach for this program? And how does being here till 2030 help you get there?
Yeah, I guess the end of the parkway would be Cape May, but that was never where I hung out. So, I was more of a Point Pleasant, that area there. So, but it's hard, right? I said it at some point. The thing I always remember as a kid, those mile markers, right? And literally it was torture because you were counting them down. And you're like, it seemed like they were going backwards at times. But that's how, you have to keep track somehow in your own mind, like, are we moving it forward? You have a one-loss record. That certainly does it. But at some points, before the win-loss record really cracks for you, you have to have other indicators. And we've been able to do that for the most part. There's been some small backslides, and that's disappointing when that happens, whether it's in recruiting or retention or the record, because then you got to redo the work to get right back to where you were. So, but I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever gone linear like that. I doubt it. So I'm not shocked when that happens, but overall, I'm very encouraged in the direction that we're going, and the attitude, the culture, everything that's being established here. And, you just look in the National Football League. I did a count the other day. We have 10 guys, since we came back, 10 guys that report to an NFL franchise and call it their job right now. That's pretty cool. We're building it, right? We've had, 2 draft classes to do it, and we have 10 guys that go to work every day, right? And then you look at the guys that are out there that are doing things other than football. That's exciting to me. That's what college football is supposed to be about. The ones that are the very best get the opportunity to do it professionally. The ones that weren't had a great experience. They get a great degree from a tremendous university like Rutgers, and then they will get a job and do something that they're passionate about. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Greg, you guys are reportedly hosting a transfer portal quarterback this weekend. What does that mean, that pursuit of a player of that position? What does that mean for Gavin Wimsatt in the quarterback room?
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about individuals, so I won't. But as I've said to you guys before, the transfer portal is a very real part of college recruiting. The way we use it is to bolster our roster. So if there's a fit, and it's got to be, first of all, it's got to be a talent fit. The guy's got to be a talented enough player that we believe he can help us win. But that's not where it stops. It has to be a culture fit. And when you deal in the portal, if it's not a culture fit, it's a very dangerous thing, because you wouldn't be bringing the player here if he wasn't a good player. So if you know he's a good player and he's going to make plays, when people make plays in sports, they have the inclination to be followed because guys want to make plays. You got to make sure that when you bring someone here that he's a cultural fit. We've been very, very fortunate with our portal guys that we've brought in that they have been a cultural fit. Now, we work very hard at it, but, it's hard to be right every single time. So that's what we look at it. We just recruit the high schools that way, and we don't change at all for the portal. So we don't just jump in and offer guys right and left, which is common, right? You see a guy go in the portal, he's got 50 offers. You don't see our name there because if we don't know, if we don't have a connection, we're not going to get in the game. Just, I don't want to bring somebody in here that could be a detriment to the overall good of the program, no matter how talented they are.
Just as a quick follow-up, I imagine these are sensitive conversations, but what is your conversation like with Gavin about, potentially bringing a visitor in that situation?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into all the personnel ins and outs. I just, that's internal, right? I communicate with the players. Sometimes, they might tell you I'm too brutally honest, but I just, that's the way I am. I'm transparent with them. I tell them everything, and I expect it to stay between the two of us, and our guys are good like that. But I think they understand how serious that is to me. Trust is everything to me.
We'll go Chris, Richie, Josh, and Pat to finish right on the line.
Just with so many guys deciding to come back and kind of, delaying their pursuit at the next level, what do you feel like that says about the program and the culture here, that they want to be a part of this and they want to keep building here and kind of help to see this thing, this through?
Well, I think it says, number one, they love their teammates and they love their coaches. They love Rutgers, and they really want to make Rutgers what they came here to do. Like a guy like Mo Touré came here and Rutgers wasn't very good, and he had to live through a lot of it not being very good. And now he can see that glimmer of light, and he wants to be the guy that puts us. And, I could say that for every one of them. Kyle Monunga, you go down the list, all of them that decided to do it, to stick around, they are keenly focused. Like they want to, coach, who are we bringing in? Who do I got to talk to? I mean, they are all about building this team to go win next year, right? Because that's all they got. They got 1 year, and they want to break through, and then leave a legacy. So I think it's all very important to them. And then they'll also improve. They know if they stay another year, they're going to improve their status in the draft. This is a developmental program. I think we've proven we get guys to the league. If they're talented enough, we're going to get it out of them, and they're going to be mentally tough. They're going to be really, really have a high football IQ, and that's what you need in the NFL. You need reliable guys.
Greg, how hard has it been over these past couple of weeks between bowl prep, recruiting the portal, evaluating your team for next year? Just kind of take me through how crazy this past 2 weeks have been.
Yeah, this is the most chaotic time, but I would have it no other way. I love it. I love all the different things happening at once. I have a great group of people that work with us, so they keep me straight. And Eric Josephs is our director of player personnel. This is his Super Bowl season right now. I mean, he is on point, and he's got us going all over the place. And the coaches do an incredible job. When you have leaders like Kirk and Joe that really, they take ownership of the offense and the defense. And I ask them a lot of questions, not only about our football, but about our recruiting. What do you guys, and then all the assistant coaches, everybody contributes to the evaluation, and then everybody contributes to the recruitment, right? So those are the two things. First, you got to figure out, is he good enough? Then you got to figure out, is he a cultural fit? And then you got to go get him. So it's really a three-part exercise. The final part being maybe the hardest, getting harder every day in this day and age of all the stuff that's going on. But, yeah, I love it. It's now, don't get me wrong. When the game's over, I am looking forward to getting a little sleep. But right now it's exciting.
You'll be coaching at Rutgers from now through 2030. What has this program meant to you over these years?
Yeah, it's meant everything. I mean, I've said it before. I made a bit of a bonehead move leaving because I really think we could be in a really sweet spot right now. But you can't change life, right? You make decisions with the information you have at the time. And but I am thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled to know that that this is where I'm going to be coaching, right? I'm not getting younger, so this will be it for me, and it's fun. I love that.
Final question.
I guess one of the guys who announced he's going to put his name in the NFL draft is Max Melton. Can you confirm or just let us know if he's going to be playing in the bowl game, and then also what's his prospect what's his outlook as an NFL player?
Yeah, Max is he'll make that announcement if he's playing in the bowl game, and I'm going to leave that to him because that's his, right? Max is going to be a very good football player in the National Football League. He's got all the skills to do it. He's got the mindset to do it. Yeah, I mean, I think he's only going to go like this too in his draft prep because he's really, really physically very, very gifted, right? And one thing that wasn't fair, like, in the beginning of the season, he was getting dinged a little bit by people saying, oh, he's not playing. He had a broken hand. The guy played with a broken hand for the beginning of the season. Never said a word about it, never told you guys about it, right? Because he knows I would have not been very pleased if he told you. But, and you try playing corner, playing press technique when you can only use one hand, right? So he was playing a lot of off technique if you go back and look. And his game, he's so fast that press is something that he's very good at, because he can take some chances and has makeup speed. So, but he battled through that, and then as it healed, I think you can see if you look at mid-season on, his game went like that. That's the player he is. But even in that position, I thought he was still the the guy that should be out there. So yeah, I'm thrilled for him, and I totally get, why it's time for him to leave. I actually told him, you need to get going. You never. What happens is if you can be in that first 2 days, and I hope that's where he goes, you never have a chance to make that money. No matter how long you play, you never have a chance to make that money back. So, that's just the way I look at it. And he's going to get his degree and all those good things. So I'm happy for him. I'm going to miss him, but I am. He's a baller, but it's time for him to move on.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.